Hi and welcome to the Netmap demonstration series. Today we'll look at Netmap as a solution for retail fraud. According to the Global Retail Theft Barometer, Australian retailers lost over $2 billion in 2011 to theft. Netmap is a software solution that visualizes point-of-sale data in such a way that loss prevention analysts can spend less time on the rows and columns of spreadsheets and databases and more time on the real work of putting a stop to theft and those who commit it. By way of introduction, let's look at how Netmap visualizes a single row of retail data. On the left, we have a sales assistant. Here we can see the most important information about this employee: their staff ID, the store they work in, number of transactions they've processed. On the right, we have a credit card used by a customer in the store. Notice the credit card number and the net amount of money spent using this card. When we see a line joining a card to a sales assistant, we know that the customer has bought or returned items from this sales assistant. The more low-level details about the transaction are never more than a click away either. Here, on the left, we can see more details about this particular sales assistant. You can see again their staff ID, the name of the store they work in, the code of the store, maybe the transaction count, department number, and so on. And on the right, we can see more details about the card itself. The card number, the card vendor, net sales, number of returns. And in the middle section, we have details about the transaction itself that occurred between the sales assistant and customer. Here we can see things like the date, the time, transaction number, maybe barcodes or quantities of items sold, and so on. What's great is that the level of detail available to the analyst is completely customizable during setup. So the concept of visualizing your point of sale data is that easy, something you might draw on a whiteboard during a meeting. What we will see next is how effective this visualized data method of analysis really is. Before conducting an analysis, it's helpful to know what we are looking for. Because returns are one of the ripest areas for retail fraud, in the following case the analyst is interested in return transactions only, and more specifically, high-value returns. The analyst has easily been able to filter out the majority of transactions so that she is only looking at those worth $3,000 or more. She is also focusing on a group of stores in the Sydney area. Now, on the left, we can see each staff member who processed returns that fit the outlined requirements. And on the right, each card that money was returned to. One of the great strengths of Netmap is its use of easily accessible visual cues to draw the analyst's attention. The two thicker blue lines that are visible represent situations where the same assistant processed multiple high-value returns to the same card. Already the analyst's eye is drawn to these cards and assistants. But there is more useful point-of-sale data that can be taken into account before any assumptions are made. Gaining store credit or gift cards by making returns without the receipt is a particularly effective means for a criminal to legitimize the theft from your business. With an official store credit note in hand, these people can breeze out the door of your store without a care for the CCTV, security guards, or EAS systems in place. Items that were previously discounted but are now back at full price. Items used for their purpose and later returned. And items that have never even been bought in the first place are but a few of the underhanded return techniques used to take advantage of or work with the employees on the shop floor. Netmap allows you to visualize each of these scenarios and also to build custom scenarios of your own. In this scenario, the analyst checks if there were any returns made where some part of the refund went to credit note, gift card, or another FPOS type card. As you can see, one click of a button later, and we are looking at an additional set of cards on the right hand side of the display. Again, the benefit of the visual aspect of this analysis is evident as the eyes are drawn to the concentration of green lines sourcing from two of the original cards. Let's take a closer look at these two cards. What we are seeing here are different patterns of behavior. The other cards fitting the same requirements have, at most, one or two transfers to store credit. However, the two cards being highlighted are quite different. Having identified something worth further investigation, the analyst will take a few more steps to isolate the activity surrounding these cards. Firstly, selecting to view all shop assistants or other cards directly linked to these two. Now we can see the 4 shop assistants and the returns they have processed, including those to the 2 suspicious cards. Selecting them, the analyst can then see a complete view of the case with all of the relevant information. Netmap provides export features to facilitate convenient integration with common business workflows involving Windows-compatible software, such as Microsoft Office, amongst others. This is the beauty of Netmap. In a few simple steps, even a non-analyst can arrive at the suspicious behavior worthy of further investigation. While the behavior illustrated in this demonstration may not be fraudulent, the analyst has drastically cut down on the row by agonizing row type of analysis available otherwise. Netmap makes it incredibly easy for the analyst to carry out even more in-depth analysis on these specific customers and shop assistants, and their transactions and behavior. Following that, the analyst can elect to escalate the case and begin gathering more hard evidence through till receipts and interviews. The advantages of Netmap are clear: affordable, easy to use, and supported by a highly experienced team at Netmap Analytics. To find out more, check out the Netmap website at netmap.com.au.